What's up everyone, Speedy here. In this 1v1 video, we're going to be doing 2 live games as well as 1 replay review. So let's get right into it. Here we are in game number 1. Take time. Nice. Probably the slowest air dribble bump you will ever see. Oh, that's hilarious. That is really unfortunate, but it did not cut the way they wanted. Okay. Place for the 50. Use a little less boost here. I love it when that skipped and just looked really weird. Yeah, ball just like totally kind of was weird for a moment. Stay close. Dude, I love the fucking fact that I put myself out of the way. It's gonna cut. We get a good bomb. Yeah, opponent just had 0 boost. It was super obvious they had 0 boost. That's why my goal there was just to put as much pressure as I could into it, not give them the space to kind of figure out what they want. That thing was ripped. It's a good shot. Alright, let's keep that momentum going. Let's go. It's a good shot. Yeah, it was awkward there. Just gonna go for a shot. Good job recognizing the play. I'm gonna actually grab this boost. It's just a good flick. Just gets really good control there. Gave him too much space and then intimidated too much. Just take time and make sure you get a control touch. You don't have to flip. You see how by just getting a single jump and then just boosting with control, I can get myself into a better position, and it's a lot easier to get the shot on target than to try to flip. You don't always have to flip. That's insane. It's gonna get a goal because somehow that fucking throws me 200 feet in the air. Like, what the fuck happened? What? Okay. Make that make sense. I'll understand what exactly I did there. Super obvious challenge from somebody who has done overwhelming that. And I'm going to get a goal here because they overcommit. That's all this guy does is early child that. Especially when you're using that much boost, it's really obvious. Can't really go for that corner boost. Okay, that is a perfect placement for 50. I specifically saw the opponent was going to try to play high, so I just played the low 50 and made that play from there. You see how just by like recognizing the opponent was going to turn there, just makes it awkward for him, but also it makes it so that way I can hit the ball into a space that's forward, and it pinches out like that. Once again, super fucking obvious challenge. Can't really score that. It's fine if it stays in their half. I'm just taking the time away from the game. Pick up the wall here. But it's gonna go, so cover the shot. Great shot, but again, it's like... yeah, there's nothing I could really say there. I mean, bro just... He's playing too fast right now. Oh, that's a perfect kickoff, dude. Not bad. Just a good old ripper. Nice. Smart. Plays the low. I actually could have challenged earlier, honestly. Let's keep the ball in their half again. They're going to run out of time. Good game. Here we are in game number 2. Fun fakes. It's fine. Actually, bro is flying around more than I am. Like, I mess up with the wave dash play there, and he messes up with flying across the field. That is something. That is a crazy touch that does absolutely nothing. Here, grab that boost. Let them overcommit. I mean, that's like as basic as like, oh, they get the challenge here. Okay, well, just hit it to your backboard. Use the backboard as your passing play, and you open up an entire play here because of that. Opponent's just trying too hard. honestly. It just feels like the opponent is like honestly putting themselves in really bad position after bad position because they're just flipping constantly and they're just not playing with the awareness of like recognizing what's a bad touch. Here, pick up the wall. That's crazy that acts as a bump, but okay. Really bad play. Super awkward. I made that way more awkward than easy by being in a corner here. It's fake here. Wrong direction, honestly, to be flipping there. Oh, good though. I just honestly need to not be flipping the way I did. I could have challenged it opposite orientation and been totally fine. Let's bring it right. Shouldn't be challenging that. Let's not use boost here. 3 for the touch. The opponent's going to make a very predictable touch here. Fortunately, it's no real angle there, so it's better not to commit. They'll have to use the zap dash there. It's probably better not to, so all good. Nice. Good patience on the flip there, too. That was really, really key. It's a very common mistake to try to do that early flip here. So, like, flipping here, don't flip there. Especially when you have an opportunity with control. Use the control touch. I mean, guys, I don't know what I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's just literally like, it's just freebies galore. I mean, it's the opponent's not making an adjustment at all. Does a good job faking there. Wasn't sure which boost he's gonna grab. It's a bad challenge from the opponent. And just get another goal for free. The opponent just keeps challenging. Like, so just not good challenges. Like, they're very, very behind the play challenges. Like, they're not reading the play at all. Like, not making an adjustment, not doing anything correct there. They're just going. And that's a really big habit. I see a lot of people make that mistake. And that's why he lost that game. Because he just kept going without thinking about the flips. Didn't think about, like, whether or not a certain commitment was the correct commitment. And that's why it went the way it did. Alright, so here was a pretty fun game I just played. Literally just finished playing this game moments ago, right after game 2. And this was fun. There was a lot of really good stuff, good insights. Also felt very confident. This was a grand champion that I went against and just felt super, super, like, just very good against. Very much different compared to the first grand champ I went against in my first placement game this season in the last video. But this one, I just felt good about the way I was playing a lot of the spacing and the different plays. I don't mind that. Puts the ball forward. I have to be a bit better about the bump. If I'm going to get the bump, that's fine, but I have to connect with it in a way that doesn't get the ball interacted with at all, because that just puts the ball into a space where it's not necessarily going to be shootable. I like that boost grab and these boost grabs. What was the goal there, what I'm doing, is I'm keeping the opponent from having the option of getting extra boost. The opponent stays aggro there. It's a very common thing people will just go. If they do, you just single jump challenge or you just watch for the challenge. Opponent doesn't have a clean touch to work with. And I'm not gonna lie, I was cooking a good bit. And then in this very moment, instead of cooking, I kind of burned the dish. I kind of, yeah. A little bit, burned it just a little bit. Don't do that. Don't do that. That was just a lapse in judgment. That was a very dumb play. Don't do that, because you will get scored on just like that. You're going to see the opponent make the same kind of mistake in this game a good few times. So be ready. This game was definitely a fun one. I felt very good this game though. Even with the goals and mistakes I was making, I felt very good. I was really confused here what was going on, because the opponent just like AFK'd. I don't know if they're like texting a chat or something, but I have my like all chat, or like normal chat, disabled for a lot of reasons, especially how distracting it can be. It's better that I just had it off, so I was like, let me just turn it off and not worry about it. I wanted to like finish that bump there, and unfortunately I just didn't have, I don't think I had the speed for supersonic there, so I couldn't really get the bump I wanted. This is fine. That's okay there. Opponent drive challenges. It's not the best position, but it's still okay. Opponent does not know how much boost I have, and the goal there, by staying close with the play, is you're not letting the opponent know that you're low boost. So because the opponent had no idea how much boost I had, I just stayed with the play, kept my momentum, kept my position, and now I have position and I have full boost. Of course, here I make a mistake here, just jumping. I didn't have to make that jump there. There was absolutely no need for it. But that's like kind of a weird touch. I thought that was going to touch. That very fortunate bang. Yeah, kind of just over jumping a little bit there. It was definitely kind of jumpy in this moment, I remember. And here, just took my time, recognized I was like, okay, well that's off. Don't have to stress. So I don't have to throw myself into a bad spot, and I could just simply take the open net. Sometimes you want to take the time to recognize like if the actual momentum of the ball is going towards your net or if it's going to go off. If it's off, try to put yourself in a position where you can cover for a follow-up shot or a follow-up play for your opponent. Typically, people, as soon as they see that it's off, they're going to try to kind of follow up with that, try to keep that pressure going, which is a natural thing, totally natural thing. Unfortunately, didn't get the bump that I wanted. Oh, good though. Kind of in a good spot. Here, just try to be careful. Opponent makes a big mistake here because I saw two things early enough in the play. One, their momentum. I saw them going for my corner boost. I saw them originally for a split second look like what I thought was going to be a bump attack, but then they went for my corner boost, which is diabolical given there's that, there's just this. I legit don't think they really thought that whole play out. They were just like, oh fuck, let me get the boost from him because he's low boost, and then just completely forgot the fact of an open net. So don't make that mistake. That's a bad touch here. That final touch here is not great. I still get a goal, but the goal results from a mistake from the opponent making a mistake after my mistake. Because this touch here, after they commit here, they're kind of like even further behind the play. So from their perspective, you're going to see, so I make a bad touch here. And the way they make a touch is like with the side of their car instead of direct. And they could have also like scooped it up so that way it would go over me and they would have momentum. At this point, they go long ways, so because they ended up going essentially around that part of the post. At that point, it already made my momentum and recovered and been set to go. So again, that's a big mistake from the opponent, just not recognizing the kind of position to work with. They're just not adjusting as well as they should have, to be honest. Not a great side flip. Unfortunate. I like the boost pathing there, it's good. I'm fine with that. Keeps the ball in their half and just keeps that pressure on, so that's totally fine. I don't, this is off, and I don't mind that I took the open net, and I also don't mind that I went for this the way I did. What you could do is, honestly, do the double jump off the ceiling. If you're seeing the ball start to descend like that, you're going to want to try to keep the momentum with it by double jumping to get that pop like that, and you'll go a lot faster down. Because you're working with gravity, you'll have that momentum. That's kind of why that happened the way it did. I don't mind that I went for this. Was it the best play? Probably not, I don't think. But I do like that I went for it because it's good practice, and it's important that I do continue getting more comfortable with ceiling defense. Ceiling defense is really, really important as a skill. A fantastic pro to watch ceiling defense is with Zanil. Zanil is very, very good with that. You'll see a lot of his ceiling defense are really quite nice. And that is something that if you're wanting to get a good reference point, try to see if you can find that in his games. You will see some of those positions where he does a really good job of that. Maybe that's something I should watch as well for a good reference point. But most of, a lot of my goals this game literally is because the fucking opponent, kept overcommitting and just not adjusting. They kept making, bad positional, mistakes, and it was just really easy for me to clean up. I definitely made some good mechanical plays later in the game. There was one play where my defense was absolutely fucking on point. Really on point. Fortunately, lost this kickoff. That really comes from the side flip here, so I lost my momentum. And so the opponent gets there before me. I'm also way to the side. Opponent does kind of a different type of flip direction that's going to be more centrally planted in that part of the field. So when I say centrally planted, I mean they're essentially putting themselves essentially in this center space, in this center circle, which makes it a lot easier for them to push the ball. So because of that, I was way to the side, and it makes it harder for me to recover the position in time to try to save a shot. So, unfortunate there. I wanted to go for a ground recovery here into a potential play. That would have been pretty nice. Not very high percentage, but would have been pretty cool nonetheless. I don't mind that I played this way. Not the best recovery. I could do a better job. And here, just trying to keep pressure with the play. You see it, it just keeps the opponent awkward. And here, I turned upfield, but I also, I get scored on here, which is unfortunate, because I did not put myself up enough. I didn't, read the amount of climb the ball was going to have here. I thought I was going to be able to read it. At that point, I just overcommitted. So, again, it was unfortunate. It was a mistake there, really. I don't really necessarily mind the decision. It was just the way I placed myself with the actual in relation to the ball there. I misread it essentially, which is again it's in its own type of mistake, if you will. That's fine. Not a great touch. Gives ball possession away. Honestly, there's no need to go for that. I understand in that moment, I kind of I wanted to try a ceiling play. Just felt confident. If you feel confident going into play, that's fine, but just recognize that if you get scored on, that's 100% on you. You know, the opponent does a good ground air dribble, but the problem is that it's completely off axis to the goal. And I'm now in a position where I can easily cover. Opponent, of course, is going to ego chow that without even paying attention to recognizing that there's a defender there. Or a defender even can do anything with that play, which is kind of insane. For some people, they just do not, they become so tunnel vision to the ball that they do not pay attention to the fact there is a very clearly easy to see defender. That's good defense there off the wall there. And good patience as well. I like what I'm doing here, just taking time, trying to put pressure on the play. This is a good flick, and it just makes it awkward for the opponent. Still goes in, so that's good. So it definitely makes some mistakes in the later part of this game, but at that point, once I get this goal, I recognize instantly in my head, I'm on the gas now. I'm on it, let's go. Let's put that, just dump pressure, dump pressure as much as you can. When I'm defending, just defend with fundamentals. This is big fundamental defense, though. Because here, opponent actually could have scored, honestly. He gets a bad touch. I get a really, really good zap dash here and then get the recovery goal. This is just, overall, a pretty good play. The way I would definitely improve it would be at this point right here. So going into this play, I lose the kickoff. Could do a better job of that kickoff, of course. It's hard to challenge here because in this position, if I try to challenge here, it's a low percentage, and I'm also in a position where the ball is naturally going to pinch into a hard to defend area. So at this point, my goal was to get pads. I missed that pad, which was really unfortunate, so I couldn't get the pop I wanted. Here, if I popped it a bit higher, that definitely would have been harder to get the follow-up for the opponent. And the opponent really didn't do a great job of this position here. So I get a control touch here, great zap dash, and just immediate reply with the shot. Overall, that's a great play. Could it have been better? Yes, absolutely. And as I improve and as I learn more, these plays will improve more. And this will be something I can continue building on. But was the play good? Yes, absolutely. The way I went about my momentum and just maintained momentum with the play, played through the opponent's situation, and recognized my boost, recognized my play, and just went from it, that's good. That's fundamentally, that's a totally fine play. I'm fine with that. Could have been better? Again, yes, absolutely. Yeah, this is a great way to take advantage of the opponent's kind of just awkwardness here. Because like what's happening is here, opponent's now playing low because they see I'm going high, so they're kind of awkward here. But at this point here, they're not having to half flip, so if you pop it across them, their momentum is naturally, because of the nature of a half flip, when you're coming like this, like that movement is forcing you into a very linear path of movement that you can't control once you're going. Like you can try to like make adjustments, but you're still, the natural movement is very much that way in his case. Like you're going very much across. And so because it's going across, it makes it really, really hard to make the adjustment. So that's why you see him fly across like that. He now is in a position where he's too wide to the ball, and now he's just super awkward. So of course the easy play is just immediately shoot it far side and try to get the play. You could shoot it behind him, but he's closer to the front post, so it's a pretty awkward play if you try to shoot it front post. The opponent technically has a better chance, whereas if you shoot it far post, in my opinion, I definitely felt like this is definitely where I had my momentum. Because like close post here, like my rationale is like close post here. If you shoot this close post, chances are you're going to hit your opponent. Because like the opponent is covering this play, and you see like with momentum, they're covering this. Like if you're simply trying to shoot close post, you're gonna just hit the opponent, even if the opponent is not even trying to defend it. They're just there. So by shooting far post, that is the only actual shootable angle in this position. That's why, again, my rationale in the moment was shoot far side and then get the goal from there. So lots of good lessons this game. Hopefully you learned quite a bit as well as I did. Lots of great lessons and takeaways from this game. And if you enjoyed watching this video and would like me to review your games, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. And if you also enjoyed watching this video, I'd like to ask you to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Speed D Man out.